Trap bees in the chat.
Bees in the chat.
Bees in the chat. We're just singing about bees being in the chat. Hey, bees. How does it feel having a Twitch channel tailored specifically to you?
That's gonna be stuck in my head this entire session.
Bees in the chat.
Thank you so much for joining us today on this Tuesday. I feel a lot better. You didn't even know I was sick, but I was. This coming Thursday at 7 p.m. Central, we have the next Cursive Strahd session. Should be going down in Strahd, alright? Go check that out. This coming Sunday, should be going down in Campaign 3, too. This coming Sunday is the next Campaign 3 session at 12 p.m. Central. We'll have Schmangela back, thank goodness. So please come check that out. And then a week from... No, and then Monday, the 15th, is the next Talk With Me episode. We don't know the title yet. I'm sure it's going to be great and silly and fantastic, so check that out. And then a week from today, back here at 7 p.m. Central, we will have episode 3, season 7 of The Remains. That's it for announcements. Let's jump into a recap of last week's session. In last week's session, we met an interesting and varying cast of characters. The illustrious and mysterious Carmen Rhodes, played by JMO. The aloof and chill Tabitha DeVry, played by Angie Forshee. The fun big sister, Bailey Watson, played by Emily Tabor. And last but not least, the one simply trying their best, Finn Westfield. Finn Westfield, played by Sophie Pantale. Our survivors were at a party at the old St. Barnabas Cathedral in LA. A party filled with good music, good vibes, and good drugs. Tabitha and her brother Evan got into some of those party favors and had themselves a good time after meeting Bailey Watson and her sister Remy, who were there celebrating Remy's 19th birthday. Remy also seemed to have kind of an in or a connection with DJ Diablo, who was here performing. Carmen Rhodes arrived early, looking fantastic, with her intimidating companion, Dorian. The two of them watched over the party from a distance and pulled puppet strings from afar. Finn showed up in full-blown Spider-Them attire to hawk the latest in corporate Hollywood, the new energy drink Thwipsip. Which went pretty well, honestly. They were all having a good time until Sebastian Kane arrived with his crew and started passing out lethal doses of drugs to blame on the Viper, who was running this party and his main competition in LA. After a tension-filled confrontation with Carmen, Sebastian slipped out while his crew stayed behind to make sure that everything went down as planned. It didn't. However, when the outbreak found its way to the doors of the party, what started out as a few figures approaching from the outside turned into pure chaos as recently deceased partygoers arose and started attacking the patrons. Our survivors witnessed horrific acts of violence and sick people who were able to withstand immense pain and discomfort to only continue pressing on like nothing happened. In a panic, everyone at the party began to leave in whatever manner they could. Both Bea and Tabitha grabbed their respective siblings and booked it. Carmen urged Dorian to lead the way out, and Finn was trying their best I didn't even mean to say that again, to help those that were hurt. Eventually, after a brief shooting exchange at the back door, the door was locked, and our party escaped. Carmen and Dorian, Tabitha and her brother Evan, Bea and her sister Remy, Finn, DJ Diablo, aka Nathan, and a techie named Chad Park, all piled in to Dorian's large SUV, and that is where we left off. As you saw Victoria, the goth woman, get attacked and pulled down to the ground. All of you have seen at least one person, if not multiple people, get attacked in a horrifically violent, animalistic way. So you're dealing from the shock of that, from the shock of everything that's happening. Currently, Carmen, you are the one driving. You are driving through the streets of LA. It is chaos. There are people in the streets that are shouting, looking to run, looking for help. You hear gunfire. There are fires. There's looting. Immediately, there's a bunch of looting that's happening. But the streets are completely filled where you're at. You're able to kind of make your way through the city. You get a couple blocks, and you can definitely tell that shit is really going down from the nearby hospital, and that's where a lot of this is originating from. A little bit. That is where this is originating from, and the night has come. There's like a fog mist throughout the area that's partly weather related, partly from just smoke from fires, and it's just pure chaos out here. All of you were at a party mere moments ago and are now seeing something that you would only read about in a book or watch in a movie happen right in front of your eyes. So I guess, Carmen, since you're the one driving, you first. What are you doing? Where are you heading?
I think in a very I don't care who or what I hit on my way there.
Yeah.
But I think Carmen would head to her home.
Safe house.
Not say it's her home, but
Okay.
just the classic. I know a place.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, her home, which is like a mansion with a lot of security measures in
Yes.
it. So
Oh,
she would
you
just head
mean
there as soon as she.
This place?
What?
What?
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
The stream can't see it. It's a nice home in LA.
Yeah.
Okay, so Carmen's immediately starting to drive to a location. There's a couple of times where she has to get up on the sidewalk, and all of you are kind of tossed and turned around. There's definitely not enough room for everybody, so there's some people on laps, there's some people in the hatch in the back. It's just like pure chaos happening right now. What about you, Tabitha? What's happening with you? What are you doing in this moment? Are you just being taken? Are you trying to tell her to go somewhere else? Where's Tabitha at?
I don't want to be high anymore.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't think that me taking shrooms would be interrupted by a fucking
Apocalypse.
whatever the fuck
I mean,
is going on.
You never do.
It's a fair
I'm never
assumption.
doing drugs again.
Yeah.
This is so fucking stupid. And I've said all of this to Evan, who is probably sitting right next to me. This
Evan's
is
just like his
this
knees
is
are
why
up
I
in
don't
his
come
chest.
out. I could have been home. I could have been safe. And now we're in some fucking car, no offense, with some fucking people, no offense.
Okay, well, what are you supposed to do about it now, Tabitha?
Nothing. I'm venting. Okay? I'm venting.
What the fuck is going on? Is this happening? Are you sure this is
Yes,
actually happening?
this is fucking happening.
Oh. Sitting near you is Bailey, kind of hearing this and listening to this conversation. You're with your sister, Bailey. She's kind of like talking to who she named Nathan, the DJ Diablo, kind of checking in on him, seeing how he's doing, because he got attacked a couple of times on the way out. Where are you at? What's going on with you right now?
Did his girlfriend get in the car or did she die?
She's the one that died. She was the goth girl.
She's the one
who
that died.
got, like, yeah.
Okay, so
Like got
I
left
think-
behind. Oops.
yeah. After being overly on top of Remy to be like, are you okay? Are you okay? Like checking her face, checking every part of her, and
Yeah.
I think I would be kind of suspiciously watching Mr. DJ Diablo. Does he seem like shook about his girlfriend in more of than like a I just saw someone die way?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a vibe check. Our favorite skill in the remain system.
Also, Zach, DJ, Diablo, Chad, Dorian, Evan, and Remy.
Mm-hmm.
Were there any other NPCs that are in the car?
No.
Okay, cool. Got it on the first try.
So there's 9 of you total.
Ooh.
First try.
Vibes are immaculate. 22.
22. So what I will say with the 22 is that he seems to just be in pure shock. First of all, he's in a good chunk of pain from being attacked. Kind of got like slammed to the ground. He seems really distraught over Victoria and what happened to her. But is also just kind of like in shock and like responding in like one-word sentences to Remy, but is kind of just like looking ahead.
Yeah. Am I in a place in the van where I could like lean up and talk to Carmen?
Sure.
So I'm gonna, like, for the sake of just flavor, I'm gonna say that I'm like a little further back and I have to like scoot like toward, right behind the 2 front seats. And at first I look at Nathan, is that his name, his actual name? And I say, I'll be right back. If you put your hands on my sister, I'll fucking kill you. And then I'm gonna scoot my way up to the front where Carmen is.
And you're actually kind of like right next to Finn, because Finn is currently trying to patch up Dorian. So like Finn is patching up Dorian, trying to stop the bleeding there, and you're kind of like on the other side. You're like back to back almost, as Finn is turned to the right to work on Dorian, and you're turned to the left to talk to Carmen.
Hey, where are we going?
It's nearby. It's a house that I know that should be pretty safe for us.
In the city?
It's on the outskirts. It's got a decent amount of land. It's suburby.
Okay. Hey, thanks for letting us jump on. I'm Bailey. You can call me B.
You can. I'm Carmen. You can call me Carmen.
Okay. That's my sister, Remy, back there.
Watch!
Right.
Watch! Carmen, a little bit careful. Come on.
Yeah,
I
I'm
am doing my
gonna. Thank
best
you very
right
much. Yep. And I'm gonna walk away knowing that there are more important things for her to be focusing on right now.
And Dorian kind of looks up at you, Finn. How bad is it? Is it gonna be able to stop? And it just as a reminder, Dorian is currently on 1 hit point.
Oh yeah.
Oh no! I didn't know.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah. He's looking bad.
I mean, honestly,
He's gonna be
Yeah, no,
fine.
you're
It's
gonna be
fine.
fine.
We'll
Yeah,
get to the house,
no, you're
and
gonna be
there's
fine.
shit there. It's fine.
We're going to the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
knowing that he's down on 1, I will use 3 of the heals from this med kit, assuming it's the same rules.
Yes, it is the same rules. Yeah.
God, you made one.
In this system of the remains, a med kit is able to heal 5 hit points worth of health, so it can be distributed, kind of like lay on hands almost.
Yeah.
You give the 3, and narratively, that's like you basically just like stopping the bleeding, putting pressure on it so that he's not actively leaking. But yeah, he's looking. He's been shot a couple of times, been attacked a couple of times, so he's looking pretty hurt. I would say you're all in a car, so you heard Carmen say that she knows a place and that that's where she's headed, so you know that that's where you guys are going. Yes, Tabitha.
Just logistically, I think for it will behoove the group to know this. Taking a look at my character sheet, I do notice a change.
Yes.
Okay. And that is purposeful.
I'm a little.
I'm book smart.
Yes, the
in
change
past,
in bonus action.
In past, yes. Well, no. In the past, Booksmart has been able to
7 uses.
Use the health kit
to
advantage.
Oh,
but that is no longer the case.
No, you're right. I did not reflect that, but that is still the case.
Oh, I still can do that?
You still can do that, yes. So a
okay.
Booksmart
I just wanted to make sure that
No, I appreciate it. Thank you. I did not, in the new character sheets, I forgot to reflect that. Booksmart skins can use the same medcoit kit that anybody else would use worth of 5 hit points, and gets 7 out.
Yes.
Gets an additional 2 hit points because you're just more efficient, more intelligent. You're able to use the supplies more effectively.
Okay.
Is kind of how
Cool.
I
I'm glad I
narratively
asked
describe
that.
that. Yeah, no, yeah, I appreciate you pointing that out.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I will say, Carmen, I need you to make either an straight agility, or a straight cunning check.
Funny.
To just see if you can navigate these roads effectively.
Cool.
And can I assist in any way?
Yes, of course. Yeah, you can help action for advantage.
Sure. Yeah.
Just pointing like, nope, not there, not there.
I was about to be like, can they? Okay, with advantage, that's a 19 on the die, which makes it a 22.
Oh yeah,
Woo.
easily enough. You are able to navigate the streets of LA. There's a couple of times where, like, very cinematically, like, you're being followed by a car who's also just, like, trying to get out of the area. You cross an intersection, and as soon as you cross it, they get T-boned. Like, there's a couple of close calls, and it's intense. But you are eventually able to, especially knowing LA, knowing the neighborhoods that would be required to, like, use the back roads and, like, the different types of, like, the different ways to get there. Yeah, it's big knowledge to have. And so you're able to get to the outskirts. It's still LA proper, you know, your address says Los Angeles, but it is closer to the hills nearby. And you, as you get closer and closer, you see that it's less pure chaos out here. There are, like, cars going by really quickly. There's people who seem to be, like, running from their houses to their cars to pack things. And there is, like, the occasional, like, you'll see someone fighting in the street, or someone lying in the street that you have to, like, kind of avoid, you know. You do see the occasional chaotic situation, but mainly you are able to kind of slow it down, be a little bit more careful as you're getting actually closer to the house. Yes, is there something that you...
Not just a question for planning purposes. How much gas is in the tank of this car?
I would say that's a great question. How about we roll a D100, and that's going to be the percentage of gas, and I'll roll it in the chat.
I'm scared.
I think this is the best way to describe this. So what percent is your tank at? How full are you? That's a 65%.
Okay. All right,
so,
I'll take it.
Yeah, and you know what? Hold on, let me do this real quick. I don't know. I'm not good at math. Trying to figure out how many miles this would be. I would say, being from LA...
Is it a hybrid?
I would say you feel like you have about 250 miles left.
Okay.
I think that seems about right, about fair. That's what 65%
Only I had a
relates to.
new Cybertruck. That would have been cool.
It would have been. Drug dealing's not that good. Not lucrative.
Yeah.
I would have died with the zombies before getting in a Cybertruck.
Spider-Man's like, nope.
Everyone would have walked up to the Cybertruck and said, "There's not enough room." Why is it called a truck?
Burn.
But you eventually skid into your. That was so bad. Skid into your driveway. You run up to the side door. Well, you skid up to your driveway, stop the car. Immediately, everybody gets out, or at least starts to. I would say you're not rich enough that you have, like, an actual like staff or, like, an on-site security team.
No,
but it is, like, it's a gated fence, so, like, you, like, hit the gate button to, like, get in. and the gate shut. So like you do have like a gate and then like a wall around it. Someone could easily probably scale it, but as far as you know, maybe zombies can't, which would be kind of nice. But yeah, you go up to the door, enter in the code that you know you need to enter in. Maybe, I mean, you know, who knows if anybody would actually come, but it is, you know, you do have that. So you input that code. Finn, I'm assuming you get out, help Dorian out of the car, start helping him inside, and then everybody gets out of the SUV, starts to head inside. Jamo, what kind of house do they see as they walk inside?
They see you can, I mean, just by the house size and that it's in LA, you know that this house is expensive. It might not be like a big house, but for like LA standards, it cost a good chunk of change.
Yeah. So if you're like a prejudiced person, maybe you don't think Carmen should have this place.
But yeah, and it's not like pristine. Like you can definitely tell someone lives here. And there's, you know, trash on the counter, food and stuff around, but it's pretty well kept. You do notice that there's like decorations, but no pictures of people. Like it's not like a clearly a family or anyone like lives here that would like want to put pictures out maybe. But it is decorated, and it is also decorated very nicely. It may give a little vibe of like from a magazine if you see just like how a room is decorated and can buy the package that might have happened. And it is multiple stories, so the main floor is a very large kitchen and living space with like a couple doors, and then there's an upstairs as well.
Perfect.
As everyone enters, Carmen would immediately probably gun back out as everyone's like ushering everyone in, like, walk inside. And not like pointing at anyone, but again, just like mishandling a gun, holding it in her hand, and just says, "Nobody fucking touch anything downstairs. Stay downstairs. I'm gonna go get some shit from upstairs." And she'll run upstairs.
Shoes off, or
you answer that?
Ignores that question.
She ignores that question. Okay. Or you can leave your fucking shoes on. It's fine. I would assume this place is. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I would assume this place is big enough in the type of relationship that you have that like Dorian probably has a room downstairs and probably lives here.
Well, I think there's a master downstairs, and what I was thinking is she's ran upstairs to Dorian's room.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so he has his room. So I think if he's downstairs then and wanting to stay there, because stairs do not sound like a fun idea right now, I'd say that he just like has you, Finn, like take him into the living room. There's like a large semicircle sectional couch.
Oh yeah.
And a big TV above a fireplace. And he kind of sits you there, or has you sit him there. He does immediately get out the remote and he turns on the TV, and every news channel is like going through what's happening. You see images of these attacks, and I would say, just out of pure curiosity's sake, other than Carmen, who said she was running upstairs, everybody walks into the living room and is watching this. You see attacks happening all over LA and in a couple other major cities. You see just brutal looting and violence that is unnatural to see. The news anchors are playing clips from the police and from high-ranking members in the National Guard who are already being deployed, saying to stay within your homes, do not go outside, if possible, barricade your doors and windows. This is not a test, this is not a drill, there is an outbreak going on, and they I would say they know enough at this point to say if anyone has been exposed, especially if anyone has been bitten, put them into immediate quarantine. Um, and yeah, I think that's kind of just over and over what they're saying. That's all the information they know for now, and you're just kind of like he's scrolling through. You're seeing this on various channels through various people. It's crazy.
Somebody want water? I'm gonna go waters.
Yes, please.
I go into the
Yeah,
kitchen.
you go into the kitchen, open cabinets.
First,
you
I
see
do
that
like check the wounds that I have to make sure they're not bite marks. Just out of like in the rush of that of like I didn't get bitten, did I? Like
yeah, for sure. No, yeah, you see some scrapes and some bruises just from like sheer force of being hit or someone pushing you around or reaching out to you. But luckily, yeah, no, you do not see bite marks. You start looking through the cabinets. You find like clean IKEA glass set, cups. That there's but there's also a refrigerator like with the water thing on, and so you fill up some cups with some water. So that's what Finn's doing. Tabitha, B, what do you guys do as you've just like watched all this?
How does Remy seem?
Remy is currently like looking at the TV, just like wide-eyed, just staring. And actually, I think that she would look to you and just kind of say like, "Hey, scared. What's happening?"
I know. I don't know. But hey, it's okay. Remy, we've gotten through a lot together. Okay?
You gonna go home?
We can do this together.
You gonna go home?
I don't think that's a good idea right now. I think at least until the sun is up, we need to stay here.
Okay. I'm gonna go check on Nate.
What's the deal there, huh?
I don't know, he's a friend.
Yeah, okay. What's the deal there, huh?
He's a friend.
Okay, well, I meant what I said. If he touches you, I'm gonna fucking kill him, so watch out.
He just saw his girlfriend get apart.
I know. Just be careful, okay? This kind of shit, it changes people. So, careful.
I want to change you.
I'm gonna nod and then I'm gonna go into the kitchen and try to help Finn carry Waters.
Okay. Tabitha?
I know this sounds counterintuitive, but I did buy some weed.
Yeah.
So I probably would have one of those there weeds.
Yeah.
What Angie doesn't know is that is not counterintuitive.
Yeah.
I mean, because I've been complaining about being high and I don't want to be high anymore. So that's the counterintuitive part, not the response to the situation.
Right. Yeah.
Weed and mushrooms tends to help dissuade the feelings.
Yeah.
It does,
so I'm gonna, kind of just staring straight ahead at the TV.
Yeah.
And like offer it to Evan.
Yeah, he takes it.
And we just pass it back and forth.
Yeah, you guys are just silently watching the TV, passing it right back and forth. At one point, Dorian asks for a hit. Like the three of you are sitting on the couch.
Oh,
I feel like as soon as
I give him a hint.
Yeah.
I feel like as soon as B like brought everybody their water, she would just like sit down next to Evan and like join the circle. Probably pull out a joint of
Evan's
her
packing,
own.
Evan's packing another one.
If she
Yeah, she's
sat
got a
next
few
to
too.
Evan, I would like look at Evan to see if he reacts to her sitting next to him.
I think in this moment, no.
Okay.
I think in
And then
this
I'll look
moment
at
he's
her
super focused.
to see if she reacts to sitting next to him.
I think that she's just like really happy to like sit down and smoke a fucking joint after everything that just
really
happened.
high.
And there's not a whole lot more to read into it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I get that. Hey.
Fuck yeah.
Zach gets it.
Then let's just chill, you guys.
Yeah, guys, can we calm the fuck down?
Can we
okay?
just let's just chill for a second,
yes.
okay?
We can get back to the apocalypse in literally 2 minutes.
Yeah. Or
give us
4
a second.
because I'm gonna roll another.
JMO, you head up to Dorian's room. What are you searching for?
I know his bathroom is likely much more stocked with useful things than mine would be.
Yeah.
So I just look for like bandages, like anything to help bandage him up better.
For sure. I would definitely say you could just full on get the makings of. I'll even say you run kind of a tough, group of people. I would say you have the makings of 2 whole med kits in the bathroom.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Shit. Then yeah, I'd get that.
So
and
2
then,
alcohol and 2 rags, technically.
And I'll spend the time to make 2 of those, and then I would get him like a change of clothes from his room.
Okay. Cool.
And then I would go into either in his room or my room, but I would basically like plan to give him his gun back, but get one out of a safe for me.
Yeah. I would say
and
I'm willing to say that you have. So you both have a handgun, and I would say on top of that, Dorian. I would say Dorian has a shotgun as well.
oh, okay.
And probably just it's not anyone's in particular, but just like 1 more handgun. So 3 total handguns and a shotgun. So you have the one that Dorian brought to the party, the one that he keeps in his room, the one that you keep in your room, and then the shotgun that's also in his room.
Okay.
And then there's one just kind of like on Dorian at all times.
Handgun. Shotgun. And I'd like grab a backpack.
Yeah.
To put like the extra handgun in. I think I would leave the shotgun for now.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't want to freak people out of walking back with the whole shotgun.
Yeah.
And then any money in cash and extra stash of drugs I would put into the backpack as well. And just kind of clean house.
Totally. Which I would say a lot of that you probably already had packed. You probably kind of consistently have a go bag.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
I would change clothes and like grab probably my second backpack of like my clothes, and he has one, and like everything, and just kind of bring all of the stuff to the living room.
Okay, yeah.
And walk in and see people smoking and be like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
Dorian happens to
roll my eyes.
He just like shrugs his shoulders.
No smoking in my house.
What else are we supposed to do? Yeah.
Yeah.
Finn comes back in with the waters for everybody who wants one. Dorian definitely takes one for sure. Chad is kind of pacing in the background. Nathan is pretty silent and traumatized, and Remy's helping him out. Evan's on the couch with all of you. So is Dorian. As you're all kind of taking this all in, the news continues for a little bit, and then you see in the distance, we don't really see it, but like from one of the windows there's a big flash of light, just kind of like almost like lightning. There's just like a flash of light, and then a couple of seconds after that, maybe even close to like 5, 6, 7 seconds, there's like a shaking and rumbling of the house, and then all of the power goes out.
Yeah.
Boo.
Hell. Dorian, where you know where things are kept better than I do.
I'm gonna say
Flashlights. Thank you. And I'll feel my way to the sink and grab a couple flashlights.
I would immediately go find Remy. I would like turn on whatever's left of my phone flashlight and
She's
find
just
Remy.
they're in the living room. They're just like on the other side of the
Okay.
room. Yeah.
Okay. Can I peek out the window?
Sure. You see pretty much what you saw earlier. There's people like packing things up. There's people who are like kind of just like on their front doors, just kind of like looking around, seeing what's happening.
Does it seem like power went out like everywhere?
It seems like power went out everywhere.
Like a blackout?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Tabitha.
Okay, strategically speaking, there is a front door. There's a second floor. This balcony, right, exists in the picture.
Yeah.
Is there a back door?
Yeah, so basically it's like one of those homes where like there is a front door, but no, like the people who go there, nobody uses it because there's like a side door. Like I imagine in the driveway, there's like a side door right there, and like that's the door that you came in through that enters right into the kitchen. So yeah, there's a side door, a front door, a back door that probably leads to some kind of nice deck situation. And then yeah, there's like a balcony on the second floor, and yeah.
Okay, I think I would note that.
Uh-huh.
And just really, kind of like whoever's listening, just sigh and be like, there's a lot of ways to get in, a lot of ways to get out.
Right.
Yeah, it's a fucking house. What? It's not a fortress.
What is the plan though for next?
Good question. That's what I was gonna ask too. I mean, what? Thank you, Dorian, Carmen. I think I heard your name was. Thanks for bringing us here. I'm Evan. My sister Tabitha. Thank you for bringing us here. What the fuck are we gonna do?
I think we have to
like look to Dorian of like, do I have to keep these people here?
Dorian, like,
I think,
yeah, he's like in pain, but he kind of like looks at you like. Well,
I'm also patching. I've used one of the med kits to give him 5.
Cool. Yeah, he's feeling a little bit better. Yeah. What were we gonna say?
I think we have to kind of wait and see what the world looks like in the morning, right? Or do we leave?
If we stay here, we gotta start barricading this place.
They barricades?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We gotta cut off some entrances, cut off some exits.
Pushing things
don't
towards us.
break anything, okay? You guys are
Fucking
welcome to stay
apocalypse
the
out there.
night. We don't know that. Something's happening. It's LA. Could be done by morning.
Could be done by morning.
Feels a little bit more than
break the
it's
shit.
LA.
Sure, but we also don't know. I'm just asking you not to break the
I
shit
think
that's in this
at
house.
least
Well, for sure.
I think at least blocking 2 of the doors. We can maybe then leave watches on the other door.
Yeah.
Saying that?
Dorian.
He knows a lot about doors.
Hey, Dorian knows
Lock that
about
door
this.
at the club, man.
I mean, we don't have to.
He's the doorman. Carmen had the car. It just makes sense.
Doorman, Carmen.
I mean, the security system's down without the power, but each door has a deadbolt. Like,
Yeah, and
we'll hear someone trying to get in.
Yeah, we should be alright for tonight.
You had a gun, so like, yeah, you can keep us.
Yep, I have a gun.
A gun. Do you have a lot of guns?
Can I like?
Why
would I have a lot of guns?
Am I?
Sorry, go ahead, Finn. Yeah.
Am I crazy? Did that not sound like? And I want to roll a vibe check about.
Okay, yeah, roll a vibe check.
Guns. This strange
Carmen,
person has.
roll a deception check. Or not deception, a lie check.
Nice. 15.
Nice.
A +6 to this.
Yeah, Carmen is
Jesus.
charismatic.
But it's a 2, so it's a 8.
Yeah.
I'm paranoid.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you clock that Carmen is lying, and then you also clock that, like, Dorian looks at her before saying, yeah, we have a gun we can use. And you notice that he's, like, kind of holding something back there as well. Finn, what were you gonna say?
This is kind of an awkward favor to ask. Can I have a change of clothes, maybe?
In full Spider-Them attire.
I like God, I know that my clothes would fit them better, but
Yeah, I mean, you're welcome to wear something from my closet. It might not be your style or size, though.
I like look at Dorian. Just
Yeah,
gave away that he has a room here.
He's gonna stand up. He's gonna like suffer to stand up, but he's gonna stand up, and he's gonna look over at you. Can I talk to you for a second?
Yeah, let's go get some clothes from your room.
Yeah,
or spider them.
Yeah, let's do it.
My name's Finn.
Nice to meet you, Finn.
Clothes for Finn.
And the two of you start to head up.
Okay, so they've got a lot of guns, you guys.
Yeah, they like. There's no way they'd have just one gun. Right?
First of all, both of you are definitely high, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, we were at a fucking.
His pupils are like discs. Yeah.
I mean, like, I know that crazy shit's happening, but like, I don't know. It's a little paranoid to think that people have like a lot of guns in their house.
Maybe he's right.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
I'm pretty sure she owned the club. I'm pretty sure it was her party.
Are you what?
Really?
No, it was.
Am I the only one? She has a fucking like Escalade that can fit 9 of us just outside.
Chad is pacing in the background, and he goes, "Yeah, it was her party."
Thank you. Thank you.
He's like looking out the windows and stuff.
It's the only.
He goes, "Oh, also she has tons of guns." He's just like he's just like pacing.
Yeah, my God! And I like hold out for a fist bump.
He's like he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's like he's.
Yeah. Oh fuck! Okay, well, fuck you too. I guess.
I feel like I should be disturbed, but that's
it's
like
not that he
really
ignored
cool.
you. He's just like not in a world where he notices that. Yeah. What'd you say, Emily?
I said I feel like I should be disturbed, but that's like really cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying she's got guns, and it was her fucking
Really
party.
cool.
Nathan is the one that
Like-
speaks up in this moment. He says, "Yeah, she's the one that hired me."
I think we gotta stick with her, you guys.
I mean, what a person to find on a night like tonight, right?
So she's her, Evan said.
It's looking like it. We're in the fucking home of the
That's
fucking
pretty
murder.
cool,
We're in
dude.
the fucking
That's pretty cool. While this is happening, we cut to the two of you walking upstairs and entering Dorian's room. Those of you who are downstairs probably hear this too. Dorian gives it a nice like slam shut. What the fuck? What's your deal?
Fuck? We're not a charity.
I know. Listen, have you opened your fucking eyes, Carmen? Did you see what it was like on our way here? This is LA? What are you talking about? There was people ripping other people up. You saw that,
You said
right?
it. Yeah, and you said it yourself. It could be done by morning.
I said that to back you up because that's what I'm always gonna do. But I'm also always gonna tell you how it is, and how it is right now, Carmen is fucked up. And these people, Finn doesn't even know me. And they were immediately there to help me out. I could have died.
Yeah, and I'm happy they were there. But it's you and me. It's always been you and me. We don't owe them anything. If shit is going down as bad,
So what,
and
we're
I'm
gonna kick
trying
them
not to
out?
think it is, no, maybe. I don't know.
We're not gonna kick them out. We can't do that.
We don't have enough food to feed all of these people.
We don't have enough food to feed us if what this is what we think it is.
And we would have last longer just here if they weren't here.
Listen,
I'm just trying to be practical.
Carmen, I know what we do. I'm not an idiot. Kill people. But I'm not a bad guy.
No.
And you're not
you're
a
not.
bad woman. And what you are describing is what bad people do. You can't just leave them in the dust if we decide, then we set them up for success at minimum. But if shit is really going down out there, if it really is World War III and it's some kind of biological terrorist attack or whatever the fuck has happened, you know what we're gonna need? What we've always needed? People. People are a resource.
How do you know that any of these people aren't in Shitface's pocket?
I would have Shitface be here right now.
Oh no. Are you kidding me? He'd stab us in the back the second he could.
Okay, you're right.
I am fine to help them. We don't have to tell them anything. We don't need to tell them we have more than one gun. We don't need to tell them anything that they can use against us until we know these fucking people.
Alright, agreed. Also, not gonna just kick out a bunch of people.
Hey.
The world could be ending outside.
Sure. Also, I have our go bags downstairs. There's 2 handguns in them, and I put the shotgun in my bedroom for a quick grab if we need it. If we need it for the things, not for the people downstairs.
Smart. But hey, you know that you're gonna have to give them.
Yeah, I know. Nothing up here is gonna fit them. I just didn't want to.
They'll need to wrap an extension cord around themselves if they wanted to wear what
It would be really funny. Like, you gotta admit, if we came down with like your clothes and had them put it on, it'd be funny.
Would be pretty good, yeah. Maybe we should do it.
I think we should. I'll like grab clothes for them.
You
still,
grab some actual clothes, but I will I'll bring some stuff down before I lost that 50 pounds.
That would almost work with a belt on them, yeah.
I got shot twice.
Yeah. I'm sorry that they did that. Like, what the fuck?
Desperate. If this isn't the end.
I'm gonna shoot their dicks off if this isn't the end.
Shoot their dicks off?
Yeah.
Look at you, tough guy.
I can be tough. She'll like.
He just kind of laughs and then like groans after causing pain. All right, listen. We assess who they are, but real talk. Shit is going down out there. We have 2 options. Either go out, get some supplies as immediately as we can, board our asses here. I mean, we have a National Guard regiment. Maybe who knows? Or hit the road in the desert. We stay out. Will be a lot harder, but a lot less people.
Yeah.
Those are really our only 2 options.
Like a little over half a tank left, so that can only get us that far. But we'd need supplies either way. I don't know. Maybe we'll just throw a end of the world party. Stay on brand for one night.
Going out with a bang doesn't sound too bad.
I know I need a drink, but they don't get any of the good liquor.
Oh, agreed. I'm not an idiot.
Okay.
And he grabs some clothes, and the 2 of them head downstairs. While that conversation was continuing, we had a little bit more time. Chad is still kind of freaking out, and his hands are in his hair, and he says, "So, I mean, like, are we gonna like call this, call a spade a spade? You know? Are we gonna do it? Because that was zombies, right? Right?
Whoa.
That was zombies? That had to be zombies, right? I mean, I saw some
Chad,
guy eat a guy's face.
Breath, man.
Okay, it was either zombies or bath salts. Oh, we don't sell bath salts.
Look, dude, you're really stoned, but I do think that you're right.
No, I'm not. I'm Chad. I'm not stoned. I'm completely sober.
You're right. So I didn't say that. I do think they were zombies, right?
Do you hear yourselves right now?
Okay, what else is going to cause someone else to eat somebody?
I mean, like, it's like
that one
Carmen
that was
said,
coming
like,
at you had like,
LA.
That one that was coming at you was like looked fucked up. Wasn't he dead?
I don't know, dead. Like, I thought just like really fucked up on drugs. Yeah, he had a knife in his eye. In his eye.
It's possible to live through that. I guess. I've seen crazier shit, but
you can
like PCP or something like that, right?
Okay, but like real talk, if something like this did go down, like a big city like this would be like where it would start, right?
It would start with an outbreak and hospitals being overrun, dude. Oh. Okay. All right. We gotta board up these exits. You seem like you're on the same page as me. Let's get some shit boarded up. He points to you, Tabitha.
Yeah, but we gotta make sure we have an exit strategy.
I mean, there's a door closest to the car in the driveway.
So we keep that door not barricaded, and we keep a watch on that.
That makes sense to me.
Good plan.
Get one of Carmen's many guns.
Yep. I mean, should we like? I mean, I do think this is a good plan, but should we like talk to Carmen before we like put nails in her wall? Maybe.
At least move furniture. We can do that. She said just not to break anything.
Furniture for sure.
Who said it was my house? I don't know.
Because you're telling people not to break shit and acting as if it's your house and knowing where to go.
Airbnb.
Yeah, it's a rental. She wants to get her deposit back.
So Tabitha, unless you don't want to, you start helping Chad like move some furniture to the door. Yeah. Evan goes to the back door. He looks at you. Ben, you want to help me out?
Yeah.
The two of you get the dining room table, move that to the back door. You come down the stairs, Carmen, to seeing people basically barricade the front and back door with your furniture.
She's trying real hard not to say anything.
Yeah. Quick work. Remy comes up to you, and Carmen comes up to you, Carmen, and says, do you have any candles or anything? I can light candles and kind of set them around so we have some light.
Once again, kind of look.
Dorian points to the nearby closet, and she's like, "Okay."
I do find a lighter. That I know where it is.
Yeah, yeah. And so Remy and Nathan get to work, kind of just lighting candles and putting them at various points throughout the house, so that there's some candlelight for y'all.
I'll put like a coaster under each just to make sure.
Yeah.
The wax strips.
And yeah, you spend the next 30 minutes to an hour barricading up the place, getting it ready for a night of whatever the fuck this is about to be. You do still have your phones. I will say any text or calls that you try to send seem to be struggling. Probably most likely from sheer traffic. Because it's not like they're not working. It's like they're just like everything's so busy or slow. But you do have access to Wi-Fi, and people on social media, if you check, are posting all about this stuff. It seems that there are. Sorry, what?
Do you mean data?
Yeah, if you're on your data, you can use data. No, yeah, you can use data. Yeah. So, if you have the unlimited data plan or you haven't gone over this month,
I'm on the AT&T Starter Unlimited.
You can be good. Well, you can be checking your social media then. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I will say you do see that there are places that are less populated where this doesn't seem to be a problem, at least as of right now, or at least that's not what you're hearing. You're hearing that it's like big cities, so New York, Chicago, LA, those Austin, those big cities. That's where you're seeing a lot of this happen, and other countries as well. But you've been seeing some stuff about this for a while, especially in other countries. There's been the occasional like conspiracy theorist posts and stuff like that about how intense things really are, but you never expected it. Now everything's just kind of like flooding out. The president makes an address. She tells everybody that like we will have this under control and we will make this, make through this, and everything's gonna be okay. You can tell that she's literally like delivering the address from like what looks like a bunker or something, like already like put away. There's like gray slate background behind her. And yeah, it's over the next hour. It's a really intense kind of crash course in what the fuck is going on and what is happening here. And you try to contact your family members. You're not able to.
Arnar.
Arnar.
My parents in Atlanta.
And then a few hours later, you start hearing some shuffling and then like a knocking on the front door.
No.
Like a slow, rhythmic knock.
Wait, did we board up things?
I'm gonna say you boarded things up, yeah. The doors are definitely, other than the side door, the doors would be easy. Like those are definitely well boarded up. The windows, you don't have a bunch of just wood sitting around, so you don't have those like barricaded. You have them each locked. You have the blinds shut. If there is a way to put furniture, like a dresser in front of a window, you've tried, but I would say like there's some windows that are still open. Mainly, you try to leave, if anything is unblocked, you try to leave that kind of in the back of the house where they would have to be in the like backyard or anything anyway. But you are 85% barricaded, but about 15% still loose. It's just you're not able to get everything, at least not in this amount of time. If you had more time, maybe, but or more supplies. But as of right now, you're about 85% barricaded. Carmen, you were gonna say something.
This can wait until we're like more sitting down talking if that happens later. But Carmen would also be pouring drinks for people, not really being helpful with heavy lifting, but pouring some alcohol for those that want to partake.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure most people partake.
And then yeah, if there's a later point to like be chatting a little bit, I can wait. But if that would have happened, I don't know what your plan next is.
No, I can say that. Yeah, no, we can say that this a moment has happened before what I was saying. So you all kind of have a moment where you've barricaded things as much as you can. You're taking a moment to just kind of rest. Drinks have been poured. Probably another joint circle has started. And you're all just kind of, I would say just basically like all in a circle. Just like talking, because there's nothing else to do. So you're all in a circle just kind of talking, chatting. And Carmen?
She'll like take her glass of whiskey and stand up and say, well, in the sense of trying to camaraderie and all of that, she'll kind of look at Dorian. As I said, you are welcome here tonight, and I feel like honesty behoves honesty, so I will admit this is my house. Probably, yes, thank you. Wasn't that shocking, I'm sure. But I'm trying to be honest.
I lean over to Evan and say, didn't we know that?
I'm trying to be honest with the strangers that I have just met. Sorry if I seemed cagey, but you were strangers. Welcome to my home. I hope you enjoy yourselves.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. And yes, I'm Carmen, as you have all heard in the car.
I'm
Not one for
Dorian.
icebreakers, so
I'm Dorian. I'm Carmen's best friend and right-hand man. She's being humble right now. She's a bit of a bitch,
that's true.
but you should be thankful that you found her. Anybody else introduce themselves?
I'm B. We met.
And your sister, right?
Oh yeah, this is Remy, and I kind of grab Remy and push her forward. She's
Then
famous.
I'm
Wow.
not famous.
Switch, right?
Yeah. I have 200,000 followers.
That's how I recognize
What do you stream?
Really just kind of me sitting in front of the camera and talking, and the occasional like cozy game. People just
Huh.
She's
watch.
great.
Internet does have everything.
Still, to have that many followers to just chat with is a feat. Don't sell
Yeah.
yourself short.
She's great, Nathan says. I'm a Diablo, otherwise known as Nathan Hedgeway.
I feigned surprise.
Does he still have his thing on? His mask on?
He
Or
doesn't.
is
Actually,
it-
I'll show you what he looks like.
Hell yeah.
His real face.
I described him at the end of last week's episode, but this is what it is. Just,
Oh, he's widowed.
Baby face.
Yeah, he's
a
like
real Beebs.
he's like 20 years old.
Oh, I'm in love with him.
He's a little concerned little boy. And Evan speaks up
Illusion
next.
is broken.
And he says, I'm Evan. Evan DeVry. I am a deadbeat who does music occasionally, and I can't believe this is fucking happening.
Anyone else care to introduce themselves?
Finn, I said that already, but I don't know if anybody heard Finn Westfield, if it matters.
So are you Spider them all the time?
Not all the time. Like, Tim Dutch obviously is like the main actor, but like I get to do like the wide angle shots and like.
Oh, you've
public
been in some of the
appearances.
movies?
Yeah, just the like.
Like B footage kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty cool though.
This is very cool.
Thanks.
Is Tim Dutch
It
nice?
It's pretty cool. He actually is really nice.
Oh, good.
Yeah, like I was really worried he was going to be an asshole, and then yeah.
Cool. Chad Park. I did the sound for the show.
It's great. It was a great set.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah, you both did good.
Evan kind of nudges you, elbows you.
Tabitha,
My sister.
I'm not a deadbeat. I'm not a fucking deadbeat.
What deadbeats
I'm
each other?
No, you're the deadbeat and I'm the together one, and I keep us
You.
on track. Yeah, that's fucking cool. It's like environmentally healthy too.
Mike is sure.
Oh, Okay, don't try to sell me on the bike again, okay?
Okay, I'm just saying.
4 wheels are better than 2.
So much faster. And your right leg wouldn't be so bigger than your left leg.
Dude, I ride Goofy, you know this.
I'm not good with my right and my left. You know this.
Okay. Tabitha will look at Carmen and just be like, for the sake of honesty, just one more thing. Are you the Viper? In case we all like die tonight or something.
Who's the Viper?
I like look at Evan.
He's doing this.
Like the Viper, like the Viper thanks you for your business. I got this for you, and I hold up like what's left of the weed.
Yeah.
Oh. No, I don't do drugs, so I don't know who you're talking about.
I look her up and down. Right. Okay. She doesn't do drugs, guys.
I'm the Viper, Dorian says.
Whoa.
Damn it.
Carmen's just my trust fund best friend who lives here.
Vibe check.
Gun roll vibe check, yeah.
I'm convinced.
He's gonna roll a check. He gets +0 to it.
Can I also vibe check?
Sure, he got a 5.
I got a 13.
I got a 19.
He is lying.
I'm just eyeing Carmen.
Yeah.
And I look at I'm just like, yeah.
As I take a hit, I just say, yeah, me too, man. And pass it to the next person.
Yeah, me
We're
too.
all the Viper tonight.
And as you're all laughing and talking about this, you hear rhythmic knocking on the front door.
Fuck.
Like one knock every 5 seconds.
That's creepy as fuck.
So we're like not going to answer that, right?
Like if it was a
need to shh.
If it was a person, they would like knock,
Not like a normal person,
really
right?
knock, yeah.
Everyone just, I have a peephole. So just let me, everyone.
You like
Shut
climb
up,
on
stay
top
here.
of the couch, and like the other thing, you have to like get there. You go outside and you see across the street, your neighbors, older couple, actually pretty chill. You never really see much of them. Whenever you and Dorian would be out and about, they would always comment on the two of you making a cute couple, which would always like kind of annoy you but make you laugh at the same time. And like you would deny it, and then like they would be like, okay. And you just had like a fun relationship with them. Across the street, you see that the woman is in the front yard, wearing a nightgown, covered in blood, lying on the ground motionless. And right in front of the door is the man. His eyes are grayed over. His skin is pale. And his mouth is dark with red blood dripping. And he's just running into the door and kind of like the knocks are either him like running into the door or him just like kind of clawing and just
What is it?
I'll like take a second and turn around, like be like, and I'll like slink back. And he's doing this to like their house's door or to our door?
to your door.
Okay.
As in like heard commotion and sound and
yeah,
way over here.
Yikes.
I'll like slink
Rough.
back to the group and turn to Dorian and say, "It's the Johnsons. Mary's name. George is at the door." and he's like, yeah.
I get the feeling that George Johnson wouldn't do PCP.
Yeah, I don't think it's drugs.
Oh. So it is the other thing then.
Looks like those at the party that was like attacking people.
Guy dead. Checked him. You hear shuffling, and now an
Mary.
additional knock
Oh
and bang
no.
at the front door.
That's problematic now. Just got a fucking zombie old couple out of my door.
I don't know how, but two of them, maybe another one will come.
I
That's
can't
gonna end
actually
badly.
Zach, we
understand you.
can't.
Oh, okay.
Can't hear you. I know you're too.
I was trying so
Right.
hard. I was
ASMR
like,
is not working.
We're acting. Dorian says, listen, I don't know how they work, but if they are attracted to sound, then two of them being there is a bad thing because that could draw somebody else, which would then draw somebody else, and that would be a chain reaction of bullshit, okay? So we gotta do something about this.
What?
do we throw a metal spoon down the street or something? What
No?
makes, I don't know, something that makes sound.
A
I don't have a
spoon?
fucking firework.
I don't know, maybe just one of us plays a video on our phone and like throws it out the
I'm not. No. A spoon.
Yeah, Evan goes, yeah, well, who's
Do you-
phone? Because I'm not.
Wait,
Do you have like a timer?
Yeah, I have an egg timer. I use it every morning.
it's true. He loves
Okay.
his eggs.
Go get it.
Doesn't that still click as it's like coming down though? Don't we have a wireless speaker? Can we like hide that somewhere and then play music from it?
We can put it on like the skateboard and then like push that down the street.
No.
Oh, okay. Keep your
I
voice
give my
down.
house to you guys and you won't fucking throw your skateboard down the street?
Even know sound drawn to.
Oh. Yeah, maybe it's like smell.
They smell us? Oh, no. I hate that. No. What are we supposed to fucking do?
Could
Are
we
they gonna
just
beat
like
down the
could
door?
could
Are
we
they
just, like-
strong? Kill them?
I don't
I
know.
cannot kill
You-
Mary and George. They are a lovely old couple.
I think they're already dead.
We don't know that that's actually
I
what's
don't-
going on here.
I think we do though.
Yeah, we definitely do, Chet says.
Yeah, if they're zombies, that they have to be dead. That's the lore.
I mean, I don't know anything about zombies, so if you guys think that's best, I will go with what you say. But if those get into the house,
Guys, see that Chad is looking out the window.
No.
There's someone else down the street. They're down the street. It's heading this way.
Oh, God.
gotta deal with it fast then. If that's what we gotta
I
do.
think the egg timer maybe is the best.
Yeah, I can run up to the second, start it, and just chuck it out the window.
That's
Okay.
just gonna break when it falls, right?
Aim for a bush.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just, I mean, try something. We gotta do
Right,
something
yeah.
at this point.
All
Just
right.
be careful.
All right. He's gonna grab the egg timer. He like,
Hold on. You're hurt.
yeah.
Like,
I know, but we gotta throw it
Oh.
from the second floor so it goes
Yeah.
further.
yeah. Is it okay if I go up? Hey, is it okay if I go upstairs?
The apocalypse asking for permission. I fucking love it.
I mean, just, yeah,
Yes,
fine.
Dorian.
Okay.
Sorry.
And you run upstairs.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me either a agility check or a brawn check.
I run up with him and I tell him where bushes, and tell them where bushes
Mhm.
are.
Okay. I'll let that. I won't give you advantage, but I'll let that affect the DC.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna say this is a DC. I haven't looked at your thing yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna say this is a DC. It's not gonna be that hard. 13.
It's a 10.
10. Yeah. You throw it, and it gets almost right by a bush and then clatters to the ground.
Yeah.
That does distract the figure in the street, and they start heading towards that, buying you a little bit more time, but they'll probably be drawn back to the noise at the front door eventually.
Do we have anything else to throw?
Yeah, I mean, we can keep throwing shit, but that's not gonna change the loud people at the door.
Fuck.
And that means we have to be silent the rest of the night. Which I guess we could do.
I'm gonna
Let's
roll.
go downstairs. Let's go. We shouldn't be upstairs.
At this moment, I'm gonna roll a luck check for you. D100. You have a 10% chance. I'm gonna start low as stuff is building here. It's a 10% chance of something happening externally to distract these people at your door. 29. Doesn't happen right now.
Ooh. I usher Finn downstairs and then follow them and get a knife out of my bag and just like and hold it out still like in its casing. Who's good with knives? Who can? If that's what we gotta do, Finn didn't throw it that far. They're still at the door.
I work at a
Like,
restaurant.
I'm not saying that it was. I'm sorry.
I didn't throw it that far, but I would have liked to have said that.
Wait, are we really about to kill Mary and George?
I don't
They're
know.
already dead.
We don't
Are
know
we
that.
sure of that? Yeah, we don't know that.
All right, then you walk outside and see what they do.
Oh.
I mean, maybe we can just like distract them away from the house, and like give them the slip.
That's what we just tried, and it.
Like
No, I mean
Morrison?
like go out. Yeah, I don't know. There's only like
Who's
2 of them out there.
fast, Then
I'm pretty fast.
I'm not. Speed is not my thing.
I'll go with you. Does.
No.
They shouldn't go alone.
What?
Shouldn't go alone.
But why do you have to go? Why do you have to be a fucking hero?
Because I'm one of the more physically fit people here who's not injured, and I should go with them.
Do you have any other like you've got a? Is there like? Obviously, we shouldn't fire a gun out there, but like any other weapons?
Fucking obliterated one with my board.
Yeah, is there like any
Some
skateboards in the
pepper
house?
spray.
I have a baseball bat.
That would be great.
He brings down the
Have
base.
anything?
He grabs the baseball bat from
electronic?
the closet, and then he says, "What about the knife? Did anyone go with the knife?" And Evan says, "I've never used a knife before."
I hate this.
If you haven't used a knife, you should not use a knife for the first time against something like this.
Okay, well, I've definitely never used a gun, so
Do you want the
Hey,
bat?
here, take the, and I'll give like
Yeah,
a
you
fire
played Little
poker
League.
from the fireplace.
oh,
like,
fire poker,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, I'll
yeah.
take.
At
I'll
least you
take the
can
damn
swing
knife.
this like a bat.
No, you're not going.
You're staying. Go.
Oh,
I thought they were leaving. The knife needs to stay in the house. I'm sorry.
I think Bailey
Stay in the
actually did
house.
that. Okay, I'll take the knife. Oh, okay.
never mind then.
Okay. All right.
Dorian, do you have something like electronic? Like, there's like a neighborhood playground like 2 streets down. If we just like leave something there and like shake the swings, like maybe that'll be enough noise to distract people.
I mean, I can give you my phone. Online game.
Don't you play like video games or something?
Yeah, it's a console. It needs electricity to work.
I don't know. I don't know if there's some.
Just you stay in
Something.
your lane, I'll stay in mine.
Fine.
He gives you his phone. Roll something real quick in the chat. You want evens on that. Okay, he got an even. He says, all right, my code is 00009.
0009.
Okay, just go to YouTube and find Lo-Fi Girl or something.
Yeah.
Lo-fi 3 hours.
Yeah. Eric looks at, or Evan looks at you. You ready?
No. I open the door.
Yeah. Well, you guys. Well, first you can unbarricade the door, or
Well, this is the side door.
yeah, you could. Yeah, sorry, that's okay. Yeah, you're right. You could either go through the side door. You can just go through the side door. Why don't you go through a window? You can go through the side door. So yeah, you go through the window, or go through the door. You shut it.
Oh, if we will knock not once every 5 seconds, to be clear.
Yeah, just do I don't know, the tea and biscuits or whatever that
Yeah.
shit is called.
Tea and biscuits.
Did Evan really do that?
Yeah, he's still on trips.
Idiot.
It's
I like to think cinematically, like there's a lot of like underlying music and stuff, and then during that moment, then there's just silence as everybody kind of looks at Evan.
biscuits.
All right, bye. Shuts the door.
Okay, I am locking it behind you.
Okay,
And then I
shuts
lock
the door.
it.
Right, where do we go? What do we do?
We're gonna sneak over to the neighbor's yard. We're gonna turn the music on. We're gonna see if they go after the phone, and we're gonna sneak back to the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You with me?
Okay.
You with me?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, you're doing great.
Yeah. Okay. And go ahead and make a sneak check. I'm gonna say this is DC 15 sneak.
Yep.
He gets a +3 to this.
No.
It's an 11. What'd you get?
13.
13. Oh yeah, you're charismatic, aren't you?
No.
You're scrappy, right?
No. 14. Sorry. Yeah. 14.
14. Okay.
Still not enough. But,
Yeah, not enough.
None of these rolls.
Yeah, you
I've
both
never-
are. You both are walking across the road. I will say you didn't roll because there's a certain matter of failure here. You could have had all 3 of them on you. You don't draw the ones from the front door, but the one figure who like went over to the broken egg timer. You are walking across the street, and there's just like a flowing piece of newspaper that you didn't know that you kind of crunch on, and the figure at the egg timer seems to be dressed up as kind of like an EMT, and they turn to look at you, and you see that their intestines are currently hanging from their abdomen and dragging behind them as they turn to look at you. And they're starting to head towards you.
Fuck. Look at Evan. I was like, shh. I just take a step backwards.
Okay.
Hoping that the thing's gonna run at Evan, and then
Okay. Yeah.
not letting it get to him, but
Yeah, for sure. I'll say, yeah. I mean, go ahead and roll another sneak check, DC 10, to just like not be the one that's noticed. Oh god.
11. It's
You
11.
barely got him, but you got
I was
him.
like, oh, Jesus.
So you back away. You're not the one that's noticed. He kind of like, he just kind of like puts his foot on the piece of newspaper and like moves it every once in a while, kind of get the thing's attention, but not make too loud of a noise. Go ahead and make an attack at advantage on the zombie.
Yeah. Okay. 14 plus.
Remind
A
myself.
19 to hit.
19 does beat the headshot threshold.
Nice.
So you hit a 19 and you just ting, like it's like there's like just this metal ting as you bounce the bat off the base of this guy's skull, and he falls to the ground. He points to the yard, like, to continue.
Yeah.
Both of you continue walking. At this point, from where you are, DC 10 sneak check to not get noticed by two of them. Both of you roll 16s on the die, getting to over to the other side. I
didn't get any of that.
Oh, how do we play it on a delay?
We pick like a song that's got like a long build up, right?
Okay, what's a song that has a long build up that also plays for a long time?
Shit. I think like Hotel California's got like 10 seconds of dead air on the front of it.
There's guaranteed to be a YouTube video that is Hotel California for 10 hours. He YouTubes it, and sure enough, there is a YouTube video. I'm actually gonna real life see this right now. Hotel California, 10 hours. Okay, I'm not seeing it immediately, but it does. Yeah. It exists in the game.
AU.
Yeah. And you play, and then he looks at you. Okay. And you start to make your way back. I'm gonna say it's a DC 15 sneak check to get back, but this time with that thing's help, and you having done it once, you're gonna be able to do it at advantage.
Are you kidding me?
At least I killed that thing in one shot.
Yes,
like,
for sure. Okay, so unfortunately, as you were making your way back, you think that you've... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the other one was an EMT. I got greedy. I wanted to like check its body.
Okay,
for medical supplies.
You go over, you check his body, and he's wearing like an Apple Watch, and you like somehow mess with it or grab it in a way to where Siri's voice comes on and says, "I'm sorry, I didn't get that." And you both hear at the front door as both of them start making their way to you now. You can either face them, or you can try to run to the side door to just see if you can get inside without them getting to you. Or run somewhere else.
Evan made his stealth checks.
He did, yeah. He's technically not been noticed. He went to the other. He started making his way to the door. Didn't see you like stay at the body, and so he's like almost like he's basically like at the Escalade.
Right.
And he's like looking back at you like. Go ahead and make a convince check in this moment. See if you can convince Evan not to.
A +0. Yeah.
9. He shakes his head no, and he starts to make his way back to you.
Yeah. Seeing that, I like ready.
Okay.
Ready to like.
So he is going to take an attack action on one of them at advantage first because you are distracting them. That's a 13 plus 4 is 17. That doesn't meet the headshot threshold. So he stabs the knife and he like stabs it into the like neck and collarbone of this old guy, and goes to the hilt with the knife. But the guy seems to barely even notice him. Turns around to him, and I will allow you an action. He currently kind of has his knife inside George. Yeah. Mary's like making her way to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna use. Can I use the fight dirty?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
To give myself advantage on the attack against the one he's got.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a 20.
Yeah. So the one that he's got, he's obviously distracted the zombie. The zombie like kind of turns and is trying to bite him. As it turns, you just use that to your advantage, and you once again right at the base of the skull as it slams into you. As you the baseball bat slams into it, and it just immediately kind of falls limp and falls out. Like he doesn't even pull the knife out. The body just like falls away from the knife. And then Mary is going to get an attack.
Yeah.
Evens is you. Odds is Evan. Evens is you.
Yeah.
She's going to attack you. She gets a +5 to this.
Yep.
It's a 9 + 5, which is 14.
Which meets.
So you take 6 points of damage as
Yikes.
she. I'm gonna say you like do that, and then she like grabs you and slams you into the ground, and so she's on top of you right now, and you like bounce your head off of the asphalt immediately, like white flash going crazy. But then Evan does get an attack with advantage. Oh, and that's a nat 20. So you bounce your head off the pavement, you look up, you see death coming to you in the form of Old Lady Mary. And she's coming at you, and before she can, she's just like, and she just stops, and you hear as the knife gets pulled out of her, and she falls to the ground. Yeah, Evan immediately like lifts you up. Come on. And the two of you, are you okay?
Let's just get inside.
Yeah, we gotta get you inside. He goes to the side door, and he just goes, tea and biscuits! and pounds on the door. Yeah, all of you inside. Because I would say all of you inside like heard the knocking go away, maybe thinking that the distraction worked.
Yeah, I would think I would be like right at the door, like waiting.
Yeah, and you kind of jump when he does that.
I'll unlock it.
They both walk in, but definitely both of them with blood on them now.
Fuck.
They're dead. They're all dead. Again, they're dead again.
You killed Mary and George? Why would you kill Mary and George?
They were already dead. They were definitely already
We
dead.
don't. Why do you keep saying that? We don't know if these people
There's
are
guys
dead.
out.
That guy
There's
was
guys-
dragging his intestines on the fucking ground.
Also, I think I just
That's pretty gross.
Also,
What?
yeah, Finn hurt themselves.
Mary.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I have the
Oh,
things
yeah.
for and I'll use another med kit,
Okay.
and I'll use the full 5.
Okay. I was at 4, so
Oh, fantastic. Well, as this kind of happens and the two of them get brought back in, they're covered in blood. You hear a siren kick off in the distance, like far distance. And I think it hits for all of you in this moment how real this really is. The adrenaline of the party has calmed down, and this is still happening. This is still occurring. And I think through this little event, you have gotten a taste of what this is going to be like. And we are going to take a little bio break there. And when we come back, we are going to jump forward in time. As we see how this group of survivors handles this apocalypse. So stand up, stretch, get some water, but don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back.
Woo!
Living in a hotel.
Angie, you're too good. We're gonna get DMCA'd. Thank you all so much for joining us, for staying around. So, we are now going to jump forward in time for a full year after this last moment. I'm gonna give you. There's gonna be some things that we're gonna do. The first thing is I'm gonna give you some given circumstances. Okay. So, in this 365 days, you've learned a lot of new information. First of all, you've learned, as far as you know, that this is the end of the world. No cities have survived, even the small towns have been infected, because apparently all of you are infected. because no matter when you die, no matter how you die, you come back unless your brain has been destroyed, as is the rules of the Walking Dead world. So you discover that no matter how you die, that they have to be taken care of, or else they will turn and they will come back. That's one thing you've discovered. Um, Much like the show Fear of Walking Dead, the National Guard was able to cordon off certain districts, especially certain districts in the outskirts of LA. So I'm going to say yours is not one of them for the sake of ease, just because I want you to be able to choose that, or it could be. So, but that's an option. As of now, those have been pretty much run down. There is one successful district left that has been cordoned off. I'll allow you guys as a group to decide if you want your house to be in that district, or if you want to be in that district at all. There's going to be other options. But that is one thing that is happening. Sebastian Kane has kind of, him and his followers have gotten a group of people that all live in a neighborhood, and they are alive and kind of running a place. But other than that, it's just random people who happen to be alive. There is a roaming horde in LA simply called the Horde that is constantly migrating and roaming throughout the city of LA, and smaller hordes will break off from them. But basically, upwards of probably millions of people lived in LA, and this horde is probably in the 6 digits as far as numbers is concerned. It's a huge migrating, wandering herd. When it comes close to wherever you are, you can probably hear it within miles. It sounds like a rolling thunderstorm. It's terrifying. But those are the 3 main external conflicts that your characters would be dealing with. Or you could be working. You could have chosen to work with Sebastian. You could have chosen to work with the National Guard. You can choose to leave the city altogether if that's what you prefer. Although there will be a lot of roles required for that one. There's going to be some roles required for all of these, but so that's kind of the given circumstances. So what do you guys think? Do you think, I'm going to open it up to the group, do you think that you as a group decided to go out and get supplies and kind of make a base of operations that is like headquartered at Carmen's house, but maybe within the year grows and extends from there to the next couple of houses? Or do you go and try to find like shopping plaza to like barricade and fortify? What do you guys think happened in this year? We can get to the specific like relationships and what happened like with you specifically, but we'll go ahead and accept the given circumstances that there might have been times where you wanted to separate, times where maybe someone even did separate, but you've stayed together, you've chosen to stay together. So we'll start broad and then get more narrow. Broadly, where do you think you guys are a year later?
I would say Carmen would have definitely voted to stay in her house and just like hunker down. And if that was not it, her second would be to still find their own place and being untrustworthy of just like other people, of like if it is to the mall, like make sure it's like our own area that we can kind of like call our own versus joining the National Guard, and definitely not joining Sebastian.
I know like the studio lots where like they've got big walls around them and big like gates. It's like a small town of structures there. Basically, each one of those places is a warehouse that can be locked down entirely all by itself. Not saying it'll be easy to get to, but it'd be an option. I don't know that we can stay in your house forever. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Maybe that's even after some time, but like, I don't know. We're just throwing out ideas, right?
Yeah, we'll say this is you guys have had a okay. It's been a week. This is clearly actually happening. There's no coming back from this. The world is ending. What the fuck are we gonna do? And you're kind of like sitting around the table, having eaten your 5th can of Chef Boyardee, just like trying to figure out what's next.
Beefaroni is way better than the ravioli bits. They're too
Chili Mac underrated.
it's too grainy.
I mean, the movie lot idea sounds pretty good.
I mean, there
Yeah, I
are
just wonder.
much less cool ways to write out the apocalypse.
That's true. I just wonder how many people also have that thought.
We would definitely have to deal with more people at the lots. And also, I know that you've been in some movies with Tim Dutch, but I doubt you have a kid.
That's very true.
No.
I mean, let's think about it logically here. The simplest option as far as what we have at our disposal is staying here at Carmen. Going to the nearby bodegas, going to the nearby stores, going to the nearby houses, trying to gather as much supplies as we can. That's the simplest. It's also probably the least protected as far as other people are concerned. Like real, awake, live people.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also less people immediately around. Or we can go to a place like the lots that's harder to get to, harder to find supplies probably, gonna have to deal with people, but if all of that could happen, it's easily defendable, not easily accessible, and it's like one option is we can definitely do it, but it'll be hard in the future, and the other option is we don't know if we can do it, but it would be better in the future.
That's
I think that right now people are a resource too, right? I mean, we're talking about more people like it's a bad thing. I mean, I know it can be. Look, I know it can be, but we don't know what the hell we're doing. Other people might.
What do you think, Tabitha?
How in the like week or so that we've been bunkered here, how many more infected have we seen?
A small number every day.
So that's not great. So we can't really get anything done, even if we wanted to like fortify or I mean, Tabitha would go with whatever Evan wants, but whatever ends up happening, she's essentially planning for every scenario. So like if we stay with the house, I will have a plan for what we do with that house. If we go to a like if we go to a movie lot or a mall plaza, she will have like a plan for them.
Is there a place in between those two options? A place that is more easily defendable, better for us in the future, but maybe not as hard to lock down?
What about the Montessori school on Park Street?
School got a lot of entrances.
But it's got supplies, it's got a
I might-
cafeteria,
That's
it's
true.
got bathrooms,
We could
it's
only stay in one section of the school and court and off.
and it's not as big as the one on 5th.
I know we're again. Oh, you're muted.
If we're looking for a place with supplies, I mean, I work at a diner. I have keys.
Kind of the same as the
Also.
house, though. Other
Yeah,
than the
I mean,
fact
I know
that it
of
has more
a-
food immediately available.
Just at some point, you know?
I would think the diner is more so important for a later supply run.
I know it's just another house, but I know of a bigger, more secluded house we could go to.
Come and go
Well,
to
I
some
mean,
rich
that
person's,
seems like the option.
go to some rich person's house out in the hills, but I feel like we wouldn't. Similarly, I feel like we wouldn't be the only people.
True, but if
But
it's
if we could,
a vacation or second home that
then we could
maybe
nail it
someone
down.
knows where they keep the keys of.
Wait, hold on. And I want to get on my phone and I want to go on Airbnb
Ooh.
and I want to find like a nearby like big house that has like the next, several days, maybe even tonight, like available in its books.
I would say that's pretty smart. You find one.
Right?
A weekend,
What?
like we're talking. This is a week after the collapse.
Oh yeah, that's true. You wouldn't have your
Oh, that
phone
is
charged
true.
anymore. Yeah.
Not that I know the rules of a zombie apocalypse.
I will say
Mhm.
one thing that I was gonna say that I did in this amount of time is
Actually,
that I think
You could still do it if you were willing to use the car battery.
okay, let me say this first. I was gonna say that I think that within that first week, B and Remy would have a little bit of a disagreement because I think B would like at first kind of want to just take Remy and like get the hell out of the city and like get her safe and might have done some research on where she could go at that point, and they ultimately decided people were a commodity, they should stay with people. But even if that is just what gives me the idea, that's fine.
I think it's easily enough you're able to do that.
Okay. So I like explain what I'm thinking.
Okay, but the only problem with that is the only way we would like get to the code to their key box or whatever is if we actually talk to them.
That's true. Again,
I think we're a little
know
far
house,
past politely using the door, right?
I know, but
if we can,
yeah,
if we can keep a place that is locked, we can try. My parents' house is the house I'm referring to.
Oh.
I come off pretty well, and they have quite the house in the hills.
they're in Europe right now too.
Might be a good start.
Probably less populated than this immediate area, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
Did hopefully less people in general, alive or not, but still people, neighbors we can
We have the keys
be
already.
friends with or whatever. I know where they keep the extra key. I don't have a key anymore.
What do you think?
School feels like a good in-between option. Overall, of all the ideas.
Yeah. The only thing worse about the house is that we're further away from supplies.
That's true.
Right. We have the
And
school
I'll go with
as
what
an
majority
option.
thinks, so.
We have the school as an option. We have here as an option. We have parents' house is an option. What if we all took a vote, decided what to do?
Democracy, I say as I hold the last of my weed.
Really stretching that out.
Yeah, really stretching it.
Well, we're
Definitely
at the
don't have
Viper's
more in my
house.
stash.
True, yeah, you probably have.
Gimme,
I don't think I would have shared
gimme.
it if they asked me if I was a Viper, though. I would have kept my stash on lock and key.
That's rude. We're a family now.
So you were only within the first week. Maybe something will change.
Yeah.
All right, so you all go around the room. I'm gonna say I'll do the NPCs first. Evan would vote for the school because it was his sister's idea.
Keeping a tally.
Dorian would vote for the house, the parents' house. Chad I think is used to sticking with Carmen. Kept him safe. She's looked out for him. I think he's gonna vote for the house. Remy would want to know what her big sister chooses, but he's not here, so we can come back to Remy. Nathan a certain lifestyle. I would maybe say that the DJ would also choose the house. What would B choose? Between the house, going to the parents' house, or the school?
I think that B would choose the parents' house.
Okay.
And I think that she would kind of know that Remy wanted her to choose the school and feel a little bit about it, like give her kind of a guilty glance as she voted that way.
Okay, yeah, I'll say Remy chooses the school. So that's 3 school, 4 house.
2
Right.
school. That's what I have.
Evan,
Yours is Remy and
Evan, Tabitha, Remy. Evan, Tabitha.
Oh,
Remy.
Tabitha voted.
I'm assuming Tabitha's gonna vote for the school. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't ask her.
I hadn't done PCs yet, but
Yeah, no,
I
that's my
got
bad.
it. Tabitha's
Yeah,
school.
don't speak for me, please.
Who do you vote for, Tabitha?
The school.
Okay. So that's 3 Tabitha, 4 house if you are going for the house, Carmen.
Yeah,
Wait, is that
5.
4 or is that 5?
That's 5.
5. 5 for the house, 3 for the
Oh, so
school.
that's 5. That's it. That's majority.
No, there's 9 of us.
Yeah, I know,
Finn.
but 5 is majority.
Yeah, but it would have been.
You forgot
Oh.
Finn.
Even if
I didn't forget Finn.
You forgot Finn.
I didn't forget Finn. It's just that 5 is
Evan,
already
you
majority.
always forget Finn.
Finn, what is your vote?
I mean, because everybody else voted, I just put it on the record. I do vote for the school.
At 5-4, that's an even split. That's not good.
And I was pretty on the fence, to be honest.
But you decided that.
Want to change your vote?
Well, democracy is spoken.
We have 1 vote difference, so if you're on the fence and can swing it either way.
Should we ask?
Look, I
George or
think
Mary?
that the school could be a good idea at
Don't
some
joke
point,
about
but I
them.
think
They were great people.
Evan says, listen, I voted for the school because that's what you voted for, Tabitha, but to be honest with you, it just feels like the house is more.
I do think we should scope out the school like on our first run for supplies, like soon.
And if we love it, we stay.
Sure.
Sure, yeah. But I think it's good to know that we have a place that's secure that we can like trust, right?
So are we doing a second round of votes for the people who are too wishy-washy for their first attempt?
No, I'm voting for the house for sure.
All right.
Whatever.
So after this conversation happens, you guys get prepared, you set up on your trip, and you gather some supplies, what you can from the nearby houses. There's a couple of times where you have to clear out some infected walkers, but you eventually get ready for your trip, get in up, all pile into the Escalade, and we're gonna make some rolls.
Oh
Rolls.
boy.
So-
Oh,
Need it. and
First
have
of
it.
all, you need
no.
3 successful agility and or cunning checks
No.
to get to the house.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We're good.
And then
Can I
those
be one, but
rolls,
with advantage?
those rolls, successful or not, will advise other rolls. You
Are we
can
sucking
roll
at
them
this
with
roll?
advantage, and it's whoever wants to roll them. And so, but it would be the person driving. So if that's Carmen, then that's gonna be Carmen.
I think it would be
I have
Carmen.
a +3 to cunning. I don't know if anybody has a better. have a four.
Well, really, it would be you would either want Tabitha or Finn to drive, because Finn could use his their +4 agility, and
Yeah.
Tabitha could use their +4 cunning. So you would really want one
Great.
of the two of them to drive to give yourself the best chance.
And I'm just directing.
Yeah.
And I would, just for the record, be like paying very close attention, like maybe even taking notes about like where we're going, like where we are.
So who's gonna roll between the two of you? And you're gonna roll in the Roll20 chat as well.
Oh God.
I mean, I can drive.
Yeah, I don't know if Tabitha has a license, but I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, you can roll us all there on your
I mean,
board.
it still matters a little bit if you don't know how to. Like, do you know
Yeah.
how to
I
drive?
know I've
matters.
been taught to drive, but I've just
How
She
long
knows
has it
how to
been
drive,
since
and she
you've driven?
chooses not to, and that's what makes it worse.
Yeah, I don't. Finn, you can drive.
Yeah, I take the keys.
Yeah.
All right.
a precious
So it's going to be
Escalade.
a 15 DC. So the first one you succeed.
Cool.
Go ahead and roll for the second. Uh-oh.
You have advantage.
You do have advantage. Okay.
Hey!
You make the second one
Okay,
as well.
okay.
Go ahead and roll for the third.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it was a
Yeah.
14, which succeeds. It was a 14.
Oh.
Plus
Oh, okay,
4.
okay,
double,
okay.
Plus
I double
4.
clicked.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
too anxious and
So you succeed on all 3.
yeah.
So that means I only have to roll.
Tens at
actually-
least.
Actually, no. Because you succeeded on all 3 of those, there is no roll for any damage or anything happening to people to get to the house. So you get to the house successfully, and I'm just going to go ahead and decide for you, for the sake of brevity, that you don't like the school that much. And that house is where you set up the next year of your life. You start to use supplies from some of the other houses. We'll meet them next week, but there's even some neighbors that you like do kind of befriend. Maybe one asshole one that like works with you, but like you don't really like the guy. I'm thinking of like who I'm gonna create. But I think working together and using the supplies that you have, you connect 4 total houses, and kind of extend their natural fences and barricades to create basically a little compound within this year. So within this year, you create a little compound that's made out of fence and plywood that you find and sheet metal that you can find on a couple of... It's a year, which seems like a long time, but when every single supply run, you have to like look out for your life. It takes a long time. So you don't have like the most solid fortress ever. It's a man-made fortress, especially the like fence and wall stuff that's just like in the street is not super great, easily broken down with like a car going through it, but should keep out anybody who's trying to climb, or definitely any undead. I would say within this year, you also definitely do start to realize that the undead are a big problem, but that they are not your worst problem. Your worst problem are the unknown of how other people will treat you. You run into people who are nothing but helpful and nice to you, and you run into people who try to kill you, flat out. I would say more so the latter, or at least more so leaning towards the latter. If they don't outright try to kill you, they're just like too scared of you and hesitant of you to like want to interact with you. It's intense. You do make some allies. But now let's see what happens to the NPCs over this year of time.
Oh.
So we're gonna roll for all of the NPCs.
Well, fuck.
The NPCs that you have created will have advantage on these rolls. NPCs that I have created will not have advantage on these rolls.
Well, Chad's dead.
These are gonna be straight rolls. We're looking for a 10 and above. Death saving throw style.
All right.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
So let's start with my NPCs first. Let's go with Chad. Chad succeeds.
Okay,
Chad lives.
I'm so scared.
Let's go with DJ Diablo, aka Nathan Hedgeway. Nathan lives.
Oh,
Fucking
baby.
Nathan survives throughout the apocalypse. I think that's the end of the NPCs that I've created. So
Okay,
we've got
I was worried about
Dorian,
Dorian.
we've got
Oh,
Dorian,
Dorian.
we've got Remy, and we've got Evan. Let's go with Dorian first.
Okay.
He does have this at advantage. Hey, 14.
Okay.
Dorian succeeds. He's helpful. He gets you through the apocalypse.
Ugh.
Now we're gonna go with Evan. Hey! Wow! These guys are rolling
We're going
fantastically.
too well. I'm so scared.
And now
Don't say
we're
that
gonna
before
go.
Remy rolls.
Now we're gonna go with Remy. Hey,
Oh, thank
16! All of your
Okay.
NPCs. I'm
Oh
kind of
my
pissed.
God.
To be honest, all of them live.
Thank you, Roll20.
And as a reward for that, I have updated portraits
For all of us?
for all of you.
Oh my god. Yes.
What?
First, I'm going to show you the NPCs. As I'm making these in your journal, try not to look at them.
Music's still so spooky.
Now I want to.
We all lived and it's still like.
Try to look at them as I post them to you. Okay, so we'll start with Chad first.
Chad.
Here's good old Chad 1 year later. There's Chad.
Wow.
Oh, little buddy.
The apocalypse has been a
He's
little
doing
hard
his
on
best.
Chad, but he's getting
Oh,
there.
buddy. I like his tufts.
This is he looks so concerned and sad, but this is Nathan.
Oh,
1
God.
year later.
Oh.
Sad
Is it because Remy
boy.
broke his heart?
We
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say,
We'll
did
get to
Remy
that.
turn him down?
And then Dorian hasn't changed much. Dorian was
No.
already kind of a badass and just continues to be a badass throughout the apocalypse.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Evan also doesn't change much, just gets a little dirtier.
Ew.
But this is Evan in
Dirty.
the apocalypse. This is Remy. 1
Oh,
year
God.
later.
Look at those eyeballs. Stop it.
Yeah, she's got those big eyes.
What up, YouTube?
Yeah. And then I've got you all as well.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, so fun fact when doing these portraits, there's you can use an image as a reference image to like keep the face the same. And the program that I was using would not allow me to use Carmen's image because it went against their terms of service. Carmen's image.
Oh,
Carmen's image
Carmen!
was too sultry for
That's
the
amazing.
return. This is
We
what
all
I
knew
have
it.
for Finn.
Yeah.
1 year later.
Aw.
And obviously
That's
you
sad.
can decide if it's different. This is just what I have for you.
No, that's about right.
This is Bailey. 1 year later.
Oh,
Love it.
we're all just bleeding from the front.
Yeah. This is so annoying. She was so hot the first time and she's still hot now, but this is Carmen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I had
help.
for her a year later. And then
Tabitha
I
and
actually
Angie
really
says.
like Tabitha's. This is Tabitha.
Oh,
a
hell
year
yeah.
later.
Ooh,
That's
love
cute.
that.
So yeah. So those are all the people that made it. They made it through. Oh,
We made it.
Thank goodness. Nobody died, and we'll see the new people that you meet next week.
Next time.
But before we end this week's episode, I want to go around and I want to talk to you guys about what happened to you over this year. What did your character focus on? Was there any interesting moments that you think happened? You kind of have free reign. Nothing too crazy, but I'll let you kind of decide some stories and stuff that happens if you want. But yeah, just give me a little blurb about what happened with your character, what they might have done over the past year, and how they've changed. And where we might find them a year later. Who would like to go first?
I can go.
Okay.
I feel like B has always been very like go, 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 make sure everybody around her is okay. And I think that doesn't change. I think that she would probably like be a pretty loud voice in the room when it comes to setting up like any sort of patrols and security. Like I think she would kind of be maybe not overseeing, but like always checking in to make sure that was going well. As well as having her hand in like a lot of social activities, like making sure that there were things going on that made everybody not like horrible, like feel horrible and miserable. I think she probably did it under the realm of making sure that Remy had stuff to do and didn't just like sit around and, get taken in by how awful all of this is. But she like really was like the gear kind of keeping everything moving as they really established things. I think she probably also had some like casual romances, nothing serious. But she probably had something with Evan at some point. Like there's so limited people at this point, right?
So you had something brief with Evan, but it didn't last?
I think the B probably like had a few people on rotation like in the real world, and so then like in the apocalypse it's like there's only so many people here.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I think something casual probably happened with Evan at some point. I think it probably was just like a very like every now and then casual thing.
Like literally them like blowing off steam almost?
Yeah.
Something.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe Dorian at some point. I don't know.
Ooh,
like
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What's Carmen and what's his fuck Steele? Chad Steele.
Chad?
I mean,
like
Chad...
together or individually?
No, I think individually.
Yeah, I was like, not together.
Chad is nerdy guy. Yeah, I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay.
As far if you're asking,
no, I mean I think that's like it's a very general thing. Like I think that's generally what B would be doing. I mean, some of it depends on what other people are doing as well.
Kind of being the stage manager, the
honestly,
like,
yeah.
You become the person who kind of like, or at least one of the people who kind of like sees the day-to-day operations of everything that's going on and kind of like, becomes not necessarily a leader, but a person, the type A personality who like is aware of everything,
And very much like never lets anybody see her break. Like if she's feeling really frustrated, like I think that, she and Evan probably also just become really good friends. And like, he's one of the few people that she can like break down to, but like she like makes sure before she walks into a room that she's like smiling and like just tries to like keep everybody like motivated to keep going all the time.
Yeah. I think that for the sake of an interesting story as well.
Yeah.
You and Remy, I think that there's some bouncing off of each other that happens. I think that, Remy was already getting older and now it's like I'm getting older and in the apocalypse and we're together 24/7 and your siblings. So I think that there's some fighting that happens there because of that. I think that her and Nathan probably get pretty cuddly with one another pretty quickly, and that just kind
And
of
I don't
gives
have a
you
filter.
and you don't have a filter. That gives you a bad vibe. And so I think that that you guys are obviously sisters. You very much love each other. You're always going to have each other's back. But I think that maybe you're not as close as you want to be a year later. But Remy helps her sister out and does things around. Um, does like tries to help with the cooking, tries to help with some of the security detail. She's got good eyes. Um, she actually, because of her video game usage, she has pretty good hand-eye coordination and ends up being pretty good with the gun. And so, trains and practices at that sometimes. So yeah, that's B and Remy. Who's next?
I think by the time we
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I think by the time we hit the year mark, it's gone from like Remy or B really encouraging Remy to like, get out, come on, let's do things, like being like really overbearing, to like Remy really working hard and like being a part of this, and B encouraging her to take a break, and Remy being like, yeah, I'll sit down when you sit down.
Yeah.
And they just have kind of a playful, like they kind of work in tandem to keep everything going.
Love it. Who's next? Okay, I saw Sophie's hand seconds before Angie.
Yeah, so I think Finn would try to kind of keep up the same sort of role that they have been. That is, like, it starts out with them being like one of the first people to volunteer to like go out, and it turns into them like doing more runs and probably going out on runs with like Dorian, and them kind of like teaming up, tag teaming between being like the muscle and like a little bit more agile. To
I think that I was gonna say that too. I think that a fun dynamic would be Dorian and Finn getting pretty close. And like, Dorian's the muscle and you're the the quick, and like kind of Hulk Spider-Man kind of vibe,
Yeah. I don't think Evan, I mean, and we can hear how that goes too, like isn't going to be the one who like usually steps up in that way. But I still owe a huge amount of gratitude to him for kind of saving me on that first night out, and coming back to help me and ignoring my advice to just like run.
Okay, yeah.
And
something that I was kind of toying with and playing with, and I want to know what your thoughts are, is if Evan and Finn ever have like a romantic fling.
Yeah, I think.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Evan
Please speak
loves. Evan loves DC.
It's off. It's over.
I was trying to think of in this world what would be Marvel and DC, and I was
for a second, I was like, as in the District of Columbia. Like, I was like, what are you talking about?
No, they could definitely. Evan can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. We joked about calling it the WCU.
yeah, that's true. The WCU.
Was the WCU.
Yeah.
And then the CD.
Yeah.
The CD. The CD is good. Yeah. Yeah, I think in a very like, we need to figure out so much other shit first.
Yeah.
Before like there can be a relationship really here. But like,
I actually kind of think for the fun of the story that like, not that you would necessarily know this, but I think like the thing with Bailey started off as like a really like blowing off steam thing, and like like a really like kind of animalistic physical thing, but there's actually some feelings involved with him and Finn. I think that would kind of be like a fun dynamic.
Yeah, and absolutely, and it feels very much like, oh yeah, do your thing, like you got shit to work out, like
Yeah, totally. I'm cool
be
with it.
yeah, be. I mean, it's the end of the world. Shit's messy.
Yeah.
So cute.
Just like come home to me at the end of the day.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, and so being on runs a little bit more, being one of the people who's going out more, kind of the more like physical needs of the group. Anything else for Finn?
I think, yeah, that's kind of like the majority of it. I think, yeah, like keeping that dynamic of going out, looking for stuff, trying to like keep some brevity, and like also grabbing like for mental health, like movies and posters and like comic books and stuff like that, even if there's not a way to play the movies.
No,
like,
I would say this early on, I would say you
Yeah.
can find some generators and you can find some stuff that you can actually run some power.
And like looking for those opportunities, and yeah.
Love it. I love it. I think that because you don't have a NPC kind of assigned to you, on your turn, I'll say Chad. Chad kind of becomes pretty useful to the group. He's really tech savvy, and so there are like certain tech things that he's able to like kind of bring back to life when you don't think that there's anything to do with him. He probably sets up the whole generator setup. You're not able to have power 24/7, but for special occasions, you know, Finn really like pushing for the fact that it's like, I know a movie doesn't seem important, but it is, trust me, like that kind of a vibe, like stuff like that. Other things, you know, in emergencies, you're able to get some power. Chad kind of sets all that up. You know, he doctors some walkie-talkies to be a bit more long range than they should be, that kind of stuff. So Chad really just sets himself being like kind of a busy handyman. Also gets a little bit better at being like mechanic-y too. And is just able to kind of just really be like the handy guy of the group. I think is kind of what Chad does. Doesn't really get involved with people too much. He likes to keep to himself. He does hang out in the group settings, but kind of tends to stay to himself. Yeah, I would say that's Chad's vibe. Tabitha, Carmen? Oh, Tabitha, you were the next one, yeah.
Yeah.
I think in that vein, if he would allow it, Tabitha would become friends with Chad or like work with Chad.
Yeah, you might be the person he's
like
actually gets closest to.
Tabitha wants to help.
Yeah.
Like protect and fortify this place as much as possible.
Yeah.
She was really disappointed when they didn't pick the school because she immediately saw the value in it.
Yeah.
And had already started working in her head like where things would go and what things could be. But I would like to think while she was there, she grabbed where other people were grabbing supplies and, you know, things for med kits and food, etc. She's grabbing like instructional manuals and like bits of like information pamphlets and like papers and books, and then on any supply runs she's getting as much as she can about like setting traps and fortifying doors and like running electrical current through metal rods to protect like perimeters, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that you and Chad kind of like nerd out over shit like that when you.
And I learned from him too about that. Like my strategy can help him with his like placements and things.
Yeah, like he doesn't know like what to do with any of this stuff, but he knows how to do it, and you know what to do with it. And I would say like Tabitha, you know, becomes like maybe not a leader of the group, but someone who is like looked at to the group, who has like, well, you know, you're the one, and I think it makes sense. Like you get this kind of like you just kind of like know what to do, like whether it be through media that you've you're the book smart, whether it be through media that you have consumed, or just kind of like intelligence from reading these books and looking at these manuals. You kind of just like get an idea of like what you guys should do, where you should fortify, how you should stay. And I think that that becomes a big asset. And I think that a lot of people start looking to you, and maybe even it makes you like a little nervous that like you just want to work with your buddy Chad and like get shit done. And like now people
We're
are like,
safe. Shut up about it.
yeah, and like now people are coming to you about like, I think this and I think this and I think this. What do you think? Like,
I don't
do you think,
care.
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, that kind of stuff.
Go mind your business.
Yeah.
I will say, I had written this down before you had suggested it to B, but probably because of B's relationship or whatever Evan and her are doing, and then if Finn and Evan are like fucking around too, I think that at some point, maybe halfway through or like 4 or 5 months ago, Tabitha and Evan got into a big blowout fight, because I don't care what fucking happened when shit started to go down. That doesn't make up for the fact that you are still being a fucking deadbeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just fucking around, and you're like,
he doesn't contribute as
having
much as
flings. You're like complaining, but you're not doing anything. Blah blah blah. And I think she's really trying to be hard not to be a deadbeat.
Yeah.
But like in a really lazy way, like in a way that isn't. She's not straying from her lane.
Yeah.
But also on the side, if it was allowed, and Zach, you can tell me this is absolutely not true, I think she would have a little weed den where she's growing.
Oh, sure, yeah. It's LA. Yeah,
and she'll share it with a couple people. Like, it's not a well-known thing. Like,
yeah.
Maybe people in this group know it, but like,
I think that you sometimes smoke just you and Chad, and that is when you see the most of Chad come out.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
he's like he'll really like he'll nerd out with you, and he'll like get into conversations with you. Yeah, I think that.
Oh, I've named a strain, and it's called Nerd Out.
Oh, that's actually great.
And that's our focus, like when we're like fucking going.
That's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Like so the two of you were like, I see a scene where the two of you are like rubbing your foreheads. What do we do about this thing? Well, we could do this. We could do this. Then there's a moment of silence, a beat, and then you both just turn, look at each other, nerd out, and then you like get the weed out and start smoking.
Yes.
Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Love that. I think that Evan, I think that you and Evan have a bit of like, I think another part of it is like Evan had moved out. You guys were recently, I mean, it's, you're older, but it was still within the last, 5-6 years that you had like stopped living together for your entire lives. And now you're back in that setting. Yeah. And so, like, there's just some classic tension that comes from that.
Yeah.
And I think, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I do think that there, at the end of the day, it is still, like, you're his sister, he's your brother, like, you guys got each other. But I do think that, like, maybe you even go, like, days without talking to each other. And whether that just be, like, you both keep each other busy, like you're just staying busy, but also maybe it's consciously a choice. But yeah, I think that after that blow up, I think that he took it really personally because he knows you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
And I think that like Evan is dealing with a little bit of like I think that Evan maybe hasn't moved on from the denial stage of grief. Like he's not in denial that the apocalypse is not happening, but I think that he's in denial that like there's a life to still be lived. Yeah. Like he's kind of in the end of the world, let's fuck around and do whatever we want because it's the end of the world phase. And he hasn't gotten to the acceptance phase of like, okay, well, we can't do that for literally the rest of our lives. So like, what kind of life can we build? Which is kind of where Tabitha has entered into. And so, yeah.
But I'm a hypocrite because I feel like I'm just fucking around. It's just useful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, cool. Love that. And then last but not least, Carmen.
Yeah, I think over the next year, like personality-wise, Carmen softens a lot to the group. She's still a bitch, but like people know she's caring when she's a bitch about something. Um, and I think she goes very much also into like businesswoman mode, like eradicating any chance that she wasn't the Viper of like who's doing what task. I'm gonna make sure inventory's taken, and so like probably works with B a lot on all of the logistics
Yeah.
of everything. Um, and keeping like Dorian at her right hand still, but having like B as well, and I think that would definitely lead itself to something more in their relationship as well, eventually. And whether it's casual or serious, who knows?
Yeah.
All three of them at one time.
I mean,
I love it.
And that's the agenda.
Yes.
we did it,
That's
guys.
I love that
but
probably a good like 10 to 15 minutes of our post-apocalypse conversation is who is having sex with who.
oh yeah,
You gotta know.
We gotta know. We gotta.
this is true. And you all will know that like Dorian and Carmen very much have a brother-sister relationship.
Yeah.
There's never been anything romantic
Oh,
between them
never mind.
before, and there's no plans to. It's just brother-sister, always have each other's backs kind of thing.
I think
Yeah,
that Dorian
and so
will. I think that Dorian will like. Never mind. Go ahead.
no, I mean that was pretty much it. I think she just like kind of goes into this is now her new business almost, and these
Yeah.
are now her people, and she's
Yeah.
wanting to protect her people, but is still extremely untrustworthy and
Yeah.
a little selfish to anyone else. Like
Yeah.
her selfishness has expanded to these people, but
Mhm.
anyone else, like fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Priority is us kind of thing.
I love that. I think that Dorian definitely like has moments of like almost even like making fun of you, for like softening up and like being this way now, you know. And I also think that you see that Dorian's almost happier in the apocalypse than you know what I mean. He's like he feels useful, he feels helpful, he feels like there's a very clear good and bad of what's going on. Does that make sense? It's like it's an easier moral ground than what you guys were doing and standing on, and I just think that you see him kind of. He also softens a bit. He becomes a bit big brothery to the group as a whole, kind of. I think that he would confide this in you, and I think that maybe Carmen feels a little bit like guilty when this conversation happens, but I think he would confide into you that he like got like kind of infatuated with B and like kind of really liked her. And but you know that's obviously not what B is looking for, and at least not with him. And I think that he kind of talks every once in a while about how like I think he might lament every once in a while about like the lack of selection around here, you know what I mean? And like being like, there's not much I can do. Like I just kind of feel lonely sometimes, you know. But I think overall he really loves going out with Finn. I think that's when he's the most excited.
And we're buds.
Yeah, you guys are. Yeah, I think you guys are. And I genuinely, I think it's like classic, like you know, big guy, little guy, like the classic, like just. You know, that relationship. Basically, me and all of my friends. Me and all of the tiny people I surround myself with. But yeah, no, I think that that's great. And you all have...
I would say...
Go ahead, sorry.
Carmen, if he confided in Carmen that there was, like, actual feelings...
I think that there were actual feelings. You know what I mean? Like... He laments to you about like I was actually really into her and then she got with that guy Evan. I didn't mean to imply that he was like I'm crushing on her. I meant to imply that like he sometimes is like bummed that there's not like a prospect for him to outpour his love in that. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think she still would maybe not be as open with him if her and B
Oh,
hooked
I'm
up?
assuming.
Of like,
Yeah.
yes,
They did. They do.
They are. Currently.
They
Probably
are.
are. Yeah.
They do. They are.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
she would keep that on the DL of not wanting to
For sure.
hurt his
And
feelings.
he would also.
Well, he probably knows.
Yeah. Well, and he would keep. And the other thing that I forgot to say about him is that he also with you keeps in the forefront of your mind, and maybe even like just the two of you have talked about this and done anything about this, but like just really keeping your eye on Sebastian in the group that he set up. And I think that maybe even like you didn't tell the rest of the group this, but like Dorian and Finn, when they went on a run, went on like a scouting mission to like see what was going on over there and stuff like that. Because
I meant to say that of like, I think the group with the questions and how she's handling this probably knows that she's the Viper, but she doesn't bring that up of like not wanting to then also like tell the group that there's like basically a rival gang out there that could show up and maybe fuck everything up, you know?
We don't need that, yeah, because I think the only people, I don't think anybody would actually like Tabitha and B both ran into people that were from that group, but I don't think anybody knows about that group.
Yeah.
So I would say if that's the case, then it's just you, Finn, and Dorian are the three that are aware of this other group. And I think like it took a while even for Dorian to convince you to like let Finn in on it. Like, you know, I can imagine the conversation was like, listen, we're out there. We're already out there. Like if you would just let me talk to Finn about it, then both of us could then utilize the time that we're out there, and you know what I mean? So then you decide to bring Finn in on it, and love that. And you all learn how to live with each other and live with the people around you and survive as much as you have for now. But then a year later, something happens.
No, it doesn't.
Something
just
that
happy
is going to throw a wrench into the cog of the machine that you have built yourself. But we will find out
Dorian
what that is.
finds out that we're fucking.
That's the cog.
It's all just
That's the whole conflict.
Sebastian.
We'll find out what that wrench is next week. So thank you all so much for watching. Very excited to see what these characters are like after having a year of time with each other. And excited to see what happens next week. So join us next week, 7 p.m. Central, right back here. Thank you to my players, best players. You can ask for. I say it every time, but I mean it every time. And as always, everybody say bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.